Hey guys, welcome back. Bomb here, and you guys probably saw the team prep video. You guys know I was having a pretty bad day. Well, it's just getting worse and worse, man. Um, I'm already feeling really sick, which is upsetting, and got the CPL match like about 30 minutes after I finished recording that team prep video, team builder video, I should call it, and then my freaking microphone wasn't being the one recorded. So I have no audio for the live match, which sucks for sure. So I have to postcom the match, which the match was really fun and it was a really quick, fast-paced match. Like I'm talking, the match itself took about 5 minutes to play at most because we both made really quick, fast-paced plays. Mo is a pretty decent battler for sure, and so that means he knows what he's doing right away, which is really cool because it was like I'm playing on the ladder, just getting points. It was really fun. So it was a really, really, really fun match, and it was upsetting that I couldn't record it live. Or I could record it live, but things just kept going wrong and wrong, and nobody's letting me record in my house today because they're all being loud and obnoxious. But what are you gonna do? Anyways, let's go ahead and play this match. I'm gonna pause a couple times here and then move this out of the way. All right, so he starts out. I start with Landorus. I'm gonna pretty much do exactly what I did in the match. I started Landorus, predicting to start with either Skarm or Arcanine. I know Arcanine cannot survive an Earthquake from my max attack Adamant Earthquake Landorus. Earthquake was definitely my best play no matter what too if he didn't start with Skarmory, because even if he switched into Skarmory, he's just going to set up hazards as I smack him down and go for my Earthquake itself, because you guys saw my team prep because I'm running Smackdown on this Landorus. So I started with Landorus. It was one of those few times that starting with Landorus was a safe play because there's nothing he could really do to predict me that would benefit him. He starts with Cradilly. So I'm going to go ahead. I go for Earthquake doing 63%. That kind of tells me right away that he is not the max defense build, because in our team prep video, we went over the max defense build doing like I think a max of 49%, or it was a max of 53%, somewhere around there. So I know that he's running a lot of Spadef investment, if not max Spadef. So that, knowing that, I'm safe to go for Earthquake just over and over again against his team. That was his one thing that he had to stop my Earthquake besides Skarmory. As he goes for Toxic, which is a good play. Usually with defensive Landorus, you want to wear us down. He's definitely leftovers, which is cool. He switches out here as he goes into Skarmory, and right here we both. I go for Rocks, predicting him to switch out because I knew he wouldn't. I knew he wouldn't stay in and just die like that, and there was nothing he could do against me either. Right here, I decided I should go to Togekiss because if I feel the need to defog, I can. And also, what was the thing I wanted? Oh, I wanted to heal build my Lando because there's absolutely no way I wanted it to get low against his team. I wanted him to stay as high HP as possible. So he gets up his rocks as I switch out. So I just heal build here, and then he goes for the Whirlwind, forces me out into my Gengar, which is great for me. Actually, there was few things that he would actually appreciate being switched into. The only one being Cacturn, so he could break my Sash right away. But the rest of my team does really well against him. So I'm glad he got me out to Spooky the Gengar. Here I just go for Shadow Ball because he has nothing besides a Crawdon to eat a Shadow Ball. And as you can see, he's a very heavily Spadef build as he goes for Brave Bird. Putting me out of substitute range was a little unfortunate, but he's below 40% now. Shadow Ball does 46 to a Crawdon. I'm expecting Aqua Jet, so here's where I make a play. I knew that I didn't want to defog yet. I actually didn't want to defog at all versus his team because Rocks puts in the work against his team. So I decided, since he's going for a water move, most likely Aqua Jet, I'd switch into Cacturn because Cacturn, well, his Sash will be broken, but thanks to the water absorb, I'll be back at full, giving me my Sash back. So as you can see, that's exactly what happens, which is cool for me. I didn't want to mess around with this Crawdon. It was a threat, so I decided to just Drain Punch right away. I didn't want it to Dragon Dance now or later in the game. So that Crawdon is gone. Huge threat gone. As he goes into Arcanine, here I'm just expecting a fire move, so I go into Quagsire. Quagsire pretty much hard walls the Arcanine unless it's like Power Herb Solar Beam or Sunny Day Solar Beam. As he goes for Flame Charge, which completely threw me off guard, but that's cool. Here I can just shoot out a Toxic, I believe. I go for Scald. No, that was my huge misplay. I didn't even think about Cradilly having a water absorb thing. And you guys noticed that in the team prep too. I never even mentioned it. It completely escaped my mind. But I'm glad that he showed me now. I was super afraid of any Giga Drain nonsense, so I just switch out here as he goes for Recover. Sorry, I'm a little bit ahead here. But I go into Cacturn because I can just Drain Punch this thing. I can also Swords Dance all over this Pokemon. I get the Drain Punches. I want to get my health back as I don't go to full, but it's not really necessary against him. As he goes for Toxic and misses, which is really unfortunate because now I'm actually good to just stay in here and Swords Dance. As he gets a Recover off, I'm not going to be greedy. I'm just going to Drain Punch because I want to get back to full. And there's no point in getting greedy whenever he can Toxic Stall me. I'm assuming he might have Protect, Leech Seed also, since he's toxic. I'm going to go for Seed Bomb, predicting him to switch out, because he has nothing to really absorb it, as well as Drain Punch, and there's no way he's switching into Arcanine. As he goes into Dragology, and he gets me right here. Here's a really bad play. I was just thinking, oh, he's probably the Assault Vest attacking set, or a Choice Spec set, standard stuff, when he's actually Life Orb Substitute. First of all, not many people run Substitute and Life Orb at the same time, which was already crazy to me. But he got me really well with that Substitute. So now I'm in a position where I have to sack a Pokemon, and I decided to sack Cacturne, because even though Cacturne is really handy for Sucker Punch, usually there's defensive Mews, which means that Sucker Punch is going to be hard to nab on him, and I'm slower than the rest of his team, except for, of course, the Cradily and this Pokemon, and I just wanted to break his sub. So seeing how a crit did 35%, I'm assuming that a non-crit will do about 25%, and I was wrong. I was hoping I'd get a high roll, and the Seed Bomb did not break the sub as planned, which sucks. So I go into my Clawitzer, who's designed to take on the Dragology because of the Assault Vest. I break his Substitute with an Ice Beam. He goes for Draco, which I knew I'd eat unless it was a crit. He puts himself in range of the rocks, which is why I was really confused of why he switched out there. Because he's in range of the rocks, and unless he does pack Defog on his Skarmory, there was nothing he could do about that. So I was expecting his Defog to show up later. I go for another Ice Beam because it was safe. I didn't think he'd go into Arcanine. That was a ballsy play on his part. Take the damage and any sort of attack that wasn't Ice Beam. Because I already predicted him with the last Seed Bomb play, so that's why I was really confused on why he did this play. But that was really ballsy, and it worked out for him. But I do get the freeze, which is incredibly unfortunate, because now he can't E-speed me safely. Like he don't know if he could thaw out here, and I'm safe to make a play, hoping he doesn't thaw out. I could go into Gengar predicting any E-speed and just start shooting out Shadow Balls and win the game, which at this range, all of his Pokemon do die, except for maybe his Mew, depending on his spread. But I decided, if my Clawitzer dies here, that's fine. I could revenge his Arcanine with my Gengar if it comes down to that case, and I don't really need to save this thing for anything. Even though I can defog the rocks away with Togekiss, Clawitzer slower than way too many Pokemon in his team. If I can force him to not defog at all this match, Dragology will just die to rocks. I can go for Dark Pulse now, predicting any Mew shenanigans if he wants to bring in a Spadef Mew. I could also I'm going to Dark Pulse here, by the way. I could also just Dark Pulse just to kill anything else. Anything that comes in will die at this point, because I am a Clawitzer with a Mega Launcher Dark Pulse. So he gets fully frozen as a Dark Pulse here, and here he goes in the Mew. Now, this was interesting, because he knows I have Dark Pulse telling me he's just going to kill me, so I stayed in because I didn't want to take damage on anybody else, but he goes for Ice Beam. Ice Beam completely throwing me off, because, because of the Draco Meteor damage, you would assume that I am Assault Vest, because you don't see any leftovers. Ice Beam just barely not killing, and he gets the Revenge Freeze, and I don't get a chance to Dark Pulse kill him, because Dark Pulse would have killed, like 100% would have killed. So that's crazy, but really cool. It was a cool play. So that dies. I go into Spooky here because, like I said before, Shadow Ball just cleans up his whole team at this point. So because I'm not running the Life Orb, which thank God I'm not running a Life Orb. If you guys watched that team prep video, then you know that I was worried about running Life Orb because I didn't want to take a lot of recoil and it was unnecessary when I could just run Expert Belt. So Shadow Ball just kind of cleans up his team at this point, and that is GG. So your Houstonian Hoopas are indeed 7-1, 7 wins, 1 loss. You guys know how I feel about freeze. It was a really upsetting way to win. I hate getting hacked whenever I'm fighting these CPL matches. But yeah, you see that he's upset, but like at the same time, I was like, sorry, freeze, and he was the same. And it was a fun match. We both had a good time, and that's what matters when it comes to the CPL. When it comes to Pokemon, why I made the league. I wanted it to be competitive, but I wanted all my friends to have a good time playing Pokemon, and that's what matters the most to me. Oh, you guys can't see. I was kind of pointing off screen. Never mind. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, for supporting your Houstonian Hoopas. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe, share, and let me know who you think the final, if you guys keep track of all the CPL like matches, which I'm probably going to make a playlist later if you guys want to see a bunch of other people's CPL matches. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe, share. Let me know who you think the final 4 are going to be, especially for all the people watching the CPL that are in the CPL. And yeah, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys later.